We want our own state. Southern Kaduna wants a region carved out of Kaduna to stop bloody violence. Southern Kaduna People's Union has sought a new state from the present Kaduna state to stop the bloody violence that seemed to defy solution in the state. This was part of the presentation and defense of the SOCAPU memo during the Northwest Public Constitution Review hearing in Kaduna on Wednesday. SOCAPU, which is the organization president, Jonathan Asake, said the Southern and Northern Kaduna, infamous for incessant inter-ethnic and religious clashes for decades, have agreed that creating a new state from the present Kaduna will solve the age-long problem. The wish of Southern Kaduna is to have a brand new constitution, not an amended one. In the absence of that, we are here to make our inputs as a people who have suffered suppression and oppression for a long time, he said in a report by Vanguard. He added, Southern Kaduna is made up of 67 ethnic nationalities spread in 13 of the 23 local government areas of the state. It has a land mass of 26,000 kilometers squared with an estimated population of 5.1 million. We are endowed with an educated population and with abundant natural resources. Our land size is greater than that of Kano, which has a land mass of 20,000. Okay. Yet Kano is a state of its own with 44 LGAs. Our population is greater than 21 other states in the Federation. Therefore, we are demanding the amendment of Section 8 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which makes it almost an impossible task for the creation of a new state. We have been demanding our own state for over 30 years now, and Gwara State was among the 18 states proposed in the 2014 Confab report. We are demanding the creation of Gurara State. After the amendment, this will help in solving the incessant conflict between our people and the other divide. Okay, so Kapu asked for removing for Land Use Act from the Constitution and its amendment as a law so that communities could have larger control of their ancestral lands. Similarly, the northern part of Kaduna State, under the aegis of Kaduna Development Elders Initiatives, while defending the memo of the group, said, we are canvassing for the creation of new Kaduna State from present Kaduna State, and we want the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria amended to make this possible. Kaduna South has been complaining of marginalization ever since. Even though chiefdoms have been given to them, they occupy 60% of the workforce in Kaduna State. All right. Honestly, I think Nigeria's problem of insecurity is a problem that should be fixed by the government, and because of their lack of preparation, they've easily and perfectly confused us and made us think that we are the problem. And when we are divided, it's easier to control and instill fear. So obviously, when we think that we are the problem and we have to separate to end anything, it doesn't necessarily fix anything, and the blame does not even get to be on the government themselves. So again, this is just a micro level of what, ethnic groups are doing, such as Biafra and Oduduwa, where we want to separate. When really, to be honest, if we have the same people in our new government, it will be Nigeria part 1, part 2, part 3. It won't really change anything. So again, it's the clashes that are the problem, and that is what should be addressed, not necessarily meaning that the people then have to be divided. Like, it really does not have to get there, But again, it's like the government has done a good job in convincing us otherwise, that we are the problem and we need to separate from each other before we can. And, Seun Kuti said this thing that, obviously we have the public, agitators for, a separate Nigeria. However, the underlying elements actually want that to happen, the political ones. Why? Because it means that we cannot hold them accountable when we're in our new countries for the atrocities that they committed against, Nigeria as a state. Because at that time, it would have been passed, and it's like, I thought that was a new spin. I thought that was a new perspective as to why maybe separation may not be it, because again, these people have to be accountable for what they have done. And so when we're separated, the state as Nigeria will no longer exist. So the crimes committed against that state and the people of the state will no longer exist. Not no longer exist, but it will be so hard to prove. That's basically another sort of angle as to maybe we should not, or maybe why succession might not really be the best option. But to be honest, I think that no matter what, we're going to have to be united in anything if we want to separate or want to remain together as a nation, because the fact is our common enemy is corruption and people who are our own people who have teamed up with external forces to bring us down. External forces even been beyond Africa itself, which is very, very bad. Let's call the comment say. Someone says Kaduna never divide, relocate to Enugu if you don't want to live with Muslims, useless people are intoxicated. All right. Southern Kaduna has no connection by culture, religion, or anything with the Northern Kaduna, so there's no justification for keeping us together. That's the thing. I don't even know when this making of states came from, because I think looking back, from what all the Nigerians have said, they just found that there was no point in just dividing and cutting out the states. Of course, that was a perfect plan for how they were going to share money, and obviously, the mapping of how corruption was going to take place. However, it doesn't make sense, because again, it's like with the Southeast, I think that is the main problem why we can't even separate. And to be honest, you can actually think maybe that is why they made the mapping like that, to make it very difficult for us to separate from each other. Because again, imagine, for example, we have the Southeast, but then we have Southeast and South, because we have Delta State, Urobo. But then when it comes to how Igbos are looked at, we don't necessarily look at, Delta Igbos. Like, why should there be a thing called Delta Igbos? We're basically the same thing, we're just different versions of each other. But then we have like the Efik, the Urobo, the Shekiri, and I think that some of them actually belong to the Empire of Benin, and some, are with Igbos. But then obviously with the way the states are just divided up and everything just jumbled up, we're so mixed together that even in a state there's no distinctive, well, in some, yes, but then in some states there isn't necessarily like a distinctive culture or a tribe that is making up that state, which you can say that, to map it out according to where culture is dense, and map out states according to where culture is dense, is not necessarily hard. But then again, you can say that this was foreshadowed, and it was a smart, cheeky plan to basically arrange the states in a way where, we're not going to divide them. And yeah, I guess that's what you can say. So yeah, put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.